The sweetest sound to the human ear, we touched on this a little bit earlier. The sweetest sound to the human ear is your first name. The first name actually defines who you are at your very core. Whenever you hear your first name, it elicits a reaction on your end. If you're in a crowd and someone yells your first name, guess what? You're going to turn around and look for who is actually calling you. First names create a relationship. Your first name is what your loved ones and friends call you. If you expect to invite someone into a lifetime relationship with you, you must refer to them by their first name. See, this is one of the greatest secrets in sales that will help set you apart from a world of transactional relationships. Using someone's first name throughout the conversation is going to help lay the foundation for you for a relationship. See, using sir or ma'am is like nails on a chalkboard. See, when you open up the conversation with sir or ma'am, you're asking the other person to treat you in a transactional way. This is putting a distance right now between yourself and the other person that does not invite the warmth of a friendship. So your friends would never call you sir or ma'am. If you're wanting the other person on the phone to view you as a teammate or a friend, you must begin to refer to them immediately by their first name. No exceptions. You have to refer to them right from the very beginning by their first name if you want to create a relationship. How much should you use their first name during the course of a conversation? You must use it as many times as possible, but it must feel natural. Do not use the first name just to use the first name or it's going to become very annoying. So a great time to use the first name would be at the very beginning of sentences, or when changing the topic or telling someone what they should actually do. So let me give you some examples of using the first name. So here's a good example. Lisa, as you're looking down at your piece of paper, I want to make it clear that you cannot have both Medicare Part A and Part B and a Medicare Advantage plan. You must choose one or the other. Here's another example. So let me ask you a question, Lisa. What do you know about Medicare Advantage plans and this second option besides the original Medicare? Here are two back-to-back sentences where the first name was used. Did it seem annoying to you? So let's continue this conversation with Lisa to see how natural the first name can come across. Lisa responds with, hey, I really don't know much about Medicare Advantage plans other than I get a lot of things in the mail from them and they seem to supplement what Medicare does not cover. You don't want to stop using the first name. Here we go in our response. Lisa, you are not alone when it comes to Medicare Advantage plans. Medicare can be confusing and sometimes not make any sense. The second option, Lisa, is not properly explained and causes the biggest confusion for anybody that's eligible for Medicare. The good news is this, Lisa, you have the right person to straighten this all out and make it so that you can actually understand it. See, first names, what they do is they psychologically create a bond with the other person. It's hard to say no to a friend or someone who's close to you. People do business with friends. Remember, if you're not prepared for the other person, they're not going to be prepared for you. Using that first name says to the other person, I'm on your side. I'm your friend. Using that first name tells the other person that you actually care enough about them to address them by their first name. It's connecting with the other person on a deeper level and it's building rapport. They are someone that's special to you when you start using their first name. See, what to do when someone refuses the friendship? So that's a question that comes up. What do you do if somebody refuses the friendship? See, when that happens, if someone refuses to allow you to call them by their first name, you have to address it right away. The conversation cannot continue if you're not allowed to address them by their first name. Do not let the other person convince you that you're not worthy to call them by their first name. This is not how friendships actually move forward. Without first names, it just becomes a transaction. See, if you continue with the phone call without addressing this, it will just be a transactional relationship and it'll be very easy for the prospect to tell you no or to actually dismiss you. They will just replace you with another transactional conversation with someone else. So you cannot move the conversation forward if someone will not allow you to address them by their first name. Let me give you an example of a prospect treating you like a transaction. So the salesperson says, Jim, so I can best point you in the right direction when it comes to your Medicare options, I just need to ask you a couple of questions. The prospect responds back with, excuse me, my name is not Jim to you. My name is Dr. Smith, and you will refer to me as Dr. Smith. I've earned that. See, what's going to happen right now is the lounge act is going to apologize and call the prospect Dr. Smith. Do not let that client tell you how you should do your job, just like you would not tell them how they need to do theirs. So you got to own the process of using first names. You close a deal by following your process and creating a bond and a friendship. You will not win somebody over by obeying them. So here's how you can respond to Dr. Smith. Let me stop you and take a quick step back because I want to be fair with you. I'm here to work with you and not against you. We need to be on the same page so that you can get everything that you need when it comes to your Medicare options. It's important that we're on a first name basis in order to accomplish that, because I will always be the one that you can call if you have any concerns or needs when it comes to your Medicare options. Always make it about them. So in this response, I've made it all about the other person when I'm talking to them. See, that's how you start a relationship. Communicate your process to those that are stubborn. See, communicating the process of longing for a lifetime relationship with the prospect does wonders. When you approach it this way, the tension should leave the room. The reason the prospect hopefully refused to let you call them by their first name was because they were worried that you were going to have an adversarial conversation with them and try to sell them something right away. You were going to try to provide the solution to them right away. This was their way of dominating the conversation by letting you know that they would not just let you walk all over them. See, what to do when someone refuses the friendship. If you're not able to get around the stall, it's time to go. So you must have a process in place that creates this beautiful relationship approach that takes away the adversarial approach. Not being able to call somebody by their first name will not allow you to have a successful selling relationship with that other person. Using first names throughout the phone call is extremely, extremely important. Using the first name should never be used just at the beginning or the end of your conversation when you ask for the sale. You should be addressing the prospect by their first name throughout the entire sales process. It's going to benefit them much more than it'll actually benefit you. People love hearing the sweetest sound to their ears repeatedly over and over, which is their first name. Here's your homework the next couple of days. Whenever you go into a supermarket or a gas station or anywhere that someone has their name badge on them, address them by their first name. What's going to happen is you're going to see a smile like you've never seen before. Here's why that's going to happen. That person has their name out there for the entire world to see, but very few will actually acknowledge it. You are different. You are a sales rock star, and you know the secret is the sweetest sound to the human ear is actually their first name.